que esa es una de las claves de la vida. Dice que analizar de más desgasta, lo que él hace es vivir experiencias y nunca tiene un plan, se deja sorprender.
And then what inspires me? I mean, honestly, and it may sound like a cliche, but life in general. I mean, kind of coming back to what his question, you know, just about the world and just how crazy it is. There's enough out there for me to write volumes, you know? Because internally, even though I'm able to channel a lot of my anger into hopefully something positive, there's still so much negative out there, you know? And it's so foreign to me as a person that in turn channels me into more anger. I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around all of these insane things that are going on in the world, you know? So it's just life in general, you know, whether it's something local at home or something thousands of miles away happening to people who, you know, may or may not listen to music that we get to make. So life in general is basically the biggest inspiration you should ever have.
Dice que podrá sonar cliché, pero la vida en sí misma es lo que más lo inspira. Aunque canalizo mi enojo en cosas positivas, hay tanta negatividad en el mundo que me enoja y entonces busco cómo canalizarlo y lo hago a través de mi música. Es la vida en sí misma, de nuevo, aunque suene cliché, ya sea lo que pasa en mi casa o en la casa de mi vecino o lo que pasa en el otro continente, pero es la vida en sí misma lo que más me inspira.
Gracias. Romina, gracias por venir a salvar la traducción. La pregunta es...
He's my friend.
Oh, okay.
Ellos usan las máscaras. Aquí en México es una duda desde hace mucho tiempo que tengo. Si influyó en algo México o nuestra cultura para que ellos también usaran máscaras, que aquí se usa de forma habitual y de muchas tradiciones, y también hay muchos de grupos de rock que lo hacen. Si hay una influencia por ahí. Eso es la pregunta.
He's asking about the masks. You know, in Mexico, using a mask is a big tradition. In different cultures and stuff, we use a lot of masks. So he wants to know if Mexico was in any way an inspiration or what's the reason behind the mask.
Go ahead.
In no way was Mexico an inspiration.
No, en lo absoluto no.
Get that out of your head right now. Number two, you know, they are a very hard thing to explain sometimes, and there's a lot of different answers. I can't speak for all the guys in the band. They all have an opinion of what they mean for themselves, and I'm sure we all have a little bit different variation of why we wear them, but most of it is just, I guess the way I look at it these days, it's really attributes to how much we love what we do. We just escape into our art, and whether you like it or not, the masks help you escape even further down the wormhole, so to speak. I always wanted to wear a mask because I just didn't feel like I wanted to share that side of myself with everybody while I was living my dream, and the best way to do that is to just absolutely void yourself out from that potential, so you can not have to reflect on things that you don't necessarily want to look at later. You know, the mask just kind of take that away. You know, you're always dealing with the clown. It's the same thing, and it allows us to kind of be what we want underneath. And sometimes it gets very emotional. You know, there's been tears, there's screaming, there's depression, there's happiness, there's love. And you know, we and it's funny because I can look at my brothers and know exactly what they're thinking and feeling and exactly what their face is under the mask, but I don't think anybody else in the world can. And I think that's the real point of what we share with that secret that is known as the mask. It's not really easy to explain, you know, it's just a little bit of it.
Dice que no es fácil de explicar y que no puede hablar por todos, pero al menos él lo hace como un tributo a lo que hace, es parte de su arte, lo ayuda a transformarse y lo ayuda a compartir una parte de él mismo que de otra forma sería difícil de compartir. Dice que le permite ser quien quiere ser. Una máscara a veces ayuda a que seamos más honestos, ¿no? Es como una paradoja. Dice que le ayuda a transmitir más emoción. A veces la emoción es depresión, a veces son lágrimas, a veces amor, a veces enojo, a veces felicidad, pero definitivamente tener una máscara, irónicamente, lo hace ser más él.
Y la segunda pregunta, es el metal ha tenido varias transformaciones para poder subsistir y se ha revolucionado, ha revolucionado. ¿Hacia dónde creen que va este sonido para que siga permaneciendo? Gracias.
Okay, he says metal music has been transformed and has been changing in the last years. So where do you think metal music is going? And do you think it's an evolution that has got to happen?
I think it's going to go wherever it needs to go. You know, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about metal music, because there's no real pressure on metal music. It kind of goes where it wants to go. You know, there's always pressure on pop music or hip hop to go one way or the other. But with metal music, because it's still so underground, it can kind of go wherever it wants to. It has no form, so it can experiment when it wants to. It can go back to like a more traditional sound if it wants to. It can go into places that we never expected it to. So I think it's the last form of music that really has no restraint. If I had to say where it was going to go specifically, I don't know. But that's the exciting thing, because when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's fucking amazing, you know. So you just never know. You're kind of looking for the next band to take it and kind of channel their own voice through it with no worries about whether or not it's going to be popular or not, because metal music has always been the underdog. So I think that's where it's going to go next. I don't know where, but I think the next band that really takes it and takes it where it needs to go, it's going to be exciting.
Dice que el metal va a ir a donde tenga que ir.
Sure.
No hay presión en el metal. El hip hop y el pop tienen presiones porque quieren quedar bien con cierto grupo de personas. Nosotros no, nosotros somos libres. El metal va a donde sea. El metal es la única música que no tiene ataduras. No sé a dónde va y eso para mí es tremendamente emocionante. Sé que se transforma y sé que se moldea, sé que es como una entidad viva. El metal es el patito feo y eso me encanta, porque entonces no tenemos que quedar bien con nadie.
Última pregunta, last question.
Hey. I wanted to ask you, what's